Alright, we've got two shoes here, one that might be shoe of the year for outdoors, and one that might be shoe of the year indoors. But which New Balance basketball shoe is the best for you? Comparison starts now. What's up guys, today we've got a comparison between the two lower tier hoop shoes from New Balance, the Two Way V5 and the Hesi Low V2. Starting this comparison off with the Hesi Low V2's uppers, we've got a very simple material setup here. The shoe only retails for $110, so it's not going to feature fantastic materials, but you've got a very simple mesh build and it's fairly well padded on the underside, and then lots of plastic overlays on the toe throughout the back of the shoe. And then you got a really nice external heel clip on the back of the heel that wraps all the way around the shoe as well. And then you do have some fake leather accents going up on the lace line. The tongue is a braided fabric on the top, and then it is just backed with simpler fabric on the underside, and there's a decent amount of padding in the heel as well. These shoes though feel amazing on foot. They take very little time to break in, super comfortable, very little pinching on the shoe at the start. And the tongue does really hold your foot in well, and because it's that larger tongue setup, cups your Achilles and your ankle really well in the back as well with that padding. Very little heel slip, almost none when you get it out of the box, and obviously none once you break it in. And super good lockdown. Stability and support is okay. I think I would have liked to see a little bit more support, but overall this is a fantastic setup to play in. As for the New Balance Two Way V5, you've got pretty much the same exact material setup as the Hesi Low V2. Same type of mesh build. This one's a little bit more premium feeling, although it's a little more plasticky based is what it feels like. More breathable though, that means, and there is some plastic reinforcement on the sides and on the top of the shoe as well as a drag guard. That plastic also goes on the lace line as well, and then you do have a pretty dense foam external heel clip on this shoe as opposed to the plastic one on the Hesi Low V2. There's a very minimal amount of padding in the heel, but there's no heel slip, and it wasn't super uncomfortable. The tongue though is padded pretty well, almost the exact same amount of padding and style of tongue as the Hesi Low V2. You've got that braided mesh in there and then just some simple fabric. As far as how these felt though, these felt very good too. No pinching, pretty much no hot spots or sore spots anywhere. Neither of these shoes are very wide, but they do have wide versions available. We'll get into fit later with these two. But as far as playing in these go, really breathable. These breathe super well, really good lockdown. I do like the support on this maybe a little bit more just because this ankle collar in the back too is a little bit higher. And yeah, these are phenomenal to play in too. As far as what shoe I prefer more in the uppers, I'm gonna have to go with the Hesi Low V2, the cheaper option. I just think they're a little bit more comfortable in almost every aspect, and they play completely fine. Neither of these setups are bad by any means. Both of them are really quite good. But as far as what I personally prefer, I do think the Hesi Low V2 is just a little bit more comfortable. Getting into the cushion for both these shoes, we'll start with the Two Way V5. You've got a dual density foam setup and a top loaded TPU shank. In the back of the heel, you've got Fresh Foam X, and then in the forefoot, you've got Feel Cell. Now this setup on this shoe is a little bit lower to the ground than the Hesi Low V2, but you do get a lot of speed out of the shoe. This shoe feels very fast and very bouncy too. Bounce is really good. Impact protection is fine. I didn't have any issues with it, but I do think it could have been a little bit better. But overall, playing in these, really bouncy, really good feedback, and they're phenomenal for speedsters. The Hesi Low V2 features very similar tech as well, a top-loaded TPU shank just like the Two Way V5s. The only difference is this has Feel Cell going throughout the shoe, and the stack of foam is just a little bit higher underfoot. This shoe feels really good too, very comfortable, very good impact protection on this one. But you aren't getting as much bounce since you don't have that Fresh Foam X, and they just don't feel as bouncy as the Two Way V5s, but nonetheless, a really bouncy setup, a really soft setup, really nice once you break it into. I love these two. As far as what shoe I personally prefer for cushion, I'm gonna have to go with the Hesi Low V2 again. Personally, I just think having that higher stack of foam and being a little bit more comfortable is the play for me. Neither of these shoes, just like the uppers, are really bad at all. Both these are fantastic. If you need more bounce, I'd say probably go for the Two Way V5s, but if you want a little bit more comfort and still get a good amount of bounce and impact protection, go with the Hesi Low V2s. Onto the traction for both these, we'll start with the Hesi Low V2s. You've got a radial sunwave pattern in the forefoot, and then you do have a similar pattern in the rear foot. This colorway does have semi-translucent rubber in the forefoot and then solid rubber on the heel. This is a full-length tread as well. There's just kind of 3 different sections of rubber. Not sure why they did that, but that was the choice there. And the traction on the Hesi Low V2s is very good. This is phenomenal traction. Some of the best of the year on dusty courts, on clean courts. Any court you're playing on outdoors too, these got you covered. You get really nice grip, really nice feedback, super hard stops too. I enjoyed playing in these, and I think you will too. The Two Way V5s feature a pretty similar pattern to the Hesi Low V2s. Only difference is you've got some more circular patterns in the forefoot, and then it branches off into the waves. This outsole does have that blue pattern in the waves. This is also a full-length tread, and this colorway does have all solid rubber. I don't know if any colorways of the Two Way V5s have semi-translucent rubber. I'll have to look into that, but as far as this colorway goes, the solid rubber, very good grip as well, super good on dust. You do have to wipe a few times, but really not that bad at all. Really good on clean courts, super good on outdoor courts. We'll get into durability later, but that does affect the performance of this one. And yeah, I think there's no problems with this shoe either. But if I had to pick one shoe to use for traction, I would have to go with the Hesi Low V2s. I think they just grip a little bit harder and do a little bit better on dust. We'll get into durability next, but as far as pure traction goes, pure grip, I would like to take the Hesi Low V2s. Alright, durability for both these is pretty different in my opinion. So we'll start with the Two Way V5s. This traction pattern on the Two Way V5s is very durable. This rubber is super hard rubber, like really hard, almost like court shoes, so you should be covered pretty well outdoors in the traction. Cushion, you know, it'll probably last you a decent amount. You do get a nice insole that both these shoes feature, which is almost like a polyurethane, so you'll get an extended lifetime and lifespan out of that as well. So cushion shouldn't be too bad. Uppers, I do worry a little bit for. It's just a little bit thin, and there's not a ton of reinforced spots, just on a little part on the toe for the two ways, and then a couple other areas towards the heel, but not a ton of protection in the uppers. The Hesi Low V2s feature pretty similar materials in the uppers as far as durability goes, so they'll be almost the exact same. Cushion should last maybe a little bit longer because this is a little bit more of a bouncy foam than that Fresh Foam X that the two ways have, but for the most part it'll be almost the exact same in terms of cushion. The major difference here is the traction. The traction on the Hesi Lows is just a lot more just forgiving and a lot softer rubber. Not as hard of rubber, you know, it's not going to last as long. I did take these outdoors and do a review on them, and you know, they were okay. They will load share pretty decently, but compared to the two ways, I mean, there's going to be no debate. You probably know where I'm going with this already, but the two-way V5s definitely have the Hesi Lows beat in terms of durability. These just have a much thicker and much more rugged outsole. This will be a lot better for outdoor play. So overall, both these shoes really are fantastic, and you could argue the Hesi Lows are indoor shoe of the year. You could argue the two-way V5s could be outdoor shoe of the year, and I would not be mad at that at all. Purely, if I had to pick one shoe, I would have to go with the Hesi Low V2, simply because a little bit more comfortable in the uppers, a little bit more cushion underfoot, and the traction does grip a little bit better indoors. With that being said though, I do think I would take the two-way V5s for outdoors because they just will last a lot longer, and I wouldn't mind paying $10 extra for that extended lifetime. But that'll pretty much do it for today's shoe versus shoe comparison. Let me know what you guys think of both these shoes and which one you guys prefer if you have either pairs, and what shoes you want to see compared next. But personally, to me, I think the Hesi Lows, yeah, are a little bit better of a shoe in terms of comfort. I prefer that in my performance over just pure speed and bounce, but if I was playing outdoors, I definitely would take the two ways because they are just better for outdoor durability. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.